I am relaxed. I love taking 2 days that I really do my best not to work within those 2 days, but to get out in nature and work with nature. But right now I'm reveling in love. I'm reveling in the expression of love. And, I really hope that this is the greater outcome from all this. The greater outcome is more of a tenderness, more of a kindness, more of a pause, more of a pause. So I would love to know how love is showing up in your life, because I really feel that it's a part of the collective, and we are the collective, and we're working in this realm of love and working through doing this work with ourselves, with yourself in this realm of love, and finding the bliss even in the high points, and even more so in the lower points as we go through these peaks and valleys and waves in life, and whether sometimes they're harmonious and they work together, and sometimes they're like a riptide and they give us a little bit of a headbutt. And it's there that we plant those karmic seeds, that you can plant those karmic seeds to know that that boomerang is coming back. That echo will come back to you. That beauty that you are will be the beauty that echoes back to you. It's so fun. It's so fun. And here we are. We're creating that intuition and that clarity with all this work that we're doing. As you go back and you see where we started with this painful process of grounding and centering and aligning that we do every day. And now I hope you find the beauty in that. I hope you find that as one of your greatest resources that gives you that stand and that ability to be confident and know that your nervous system and your cells are being nurtured every step of the way, which gives you that ability to define what it is that you want to say from a place of love. And when you define that from a place of love, you're stoking that fire in your solar plexus and calming that waves of emotions down in your solar plexus, in your sacral plexus. All because you worked with your root chakra and brought that stability in. That stability allows us to go here. The second and the sixth are connected. The first and the seventh are connected. The third and the fifth are connected. And the fourth is the bridge between the mind and the body, between the love of self and the love of all. This is why it's the biggest energy center, is because that's where we exude that energy, that love force energy to self, but to all. So it must be that beautiful area that it is vast. It's vast. Like, this is vast, and this is taking us into that vastness, that ever so vast. But to be able to trust what we experience in this vastness, we do this work. It's just so incredible. So incredible. Let's see what Anadea Judith has to say. She says, with regards to visualizing, because we've been talking a lot about the visualization into the intuition and the clarity that we're trying to get here, is we're looking at the patterns, because this is the place that connects all the dots. It's like, oh, that's my mother's face. Oh, this is how I fit into this family. Oh, this is how I fit into this relationship. It's giving us all those things, and it's the subconscious that we've learned, and mostly in those first 7 years where we're in that different brainwave. We're in a downloading brainwave to create our own survival. And so that's where that patterning comes in. All those pieces of the puzzles are being fit in, and some of them are pretty deep, darn illusions. And then a whole bunch of illusions become delusions, and then that becomes obsessions, and then that becomes addictions. You see, so this is where we break down those illusions, and you say, that's not my truth. What just came out of my mouth? That's not me. That's a habit. That's a habit that's coming out of my mouth. I'd like to correct that. Or I often say, cancel that. let me start over. And so, but if there's difficulty visualizing, imagining, or dreaming, then there is likely to be a strong belief with regards to the one true, right, and only way. Then we're not having the ability to see other ways. You see, there's a block. What else does she say here? I love her work. There's a monopolization. We've heard about that in the corporate world, but have we heard about that in our mind? Let's take that word into our mind. The monopolization, she says, wow, that's a mouthful, refers to the state of mind that cannot see the other side. Whereas the monopoly is where there is no other side. A monopolarization, so it's a monopolarization, I get it now. So the polarity is the two sides, refers to the state of mind that cannot see the other side, unable to imagine differences. Then we must deny or invalidate them. Probably, if you're taking your privilege and speaking it and opening it up in your family resources, some people may not be able to see that other side. Some people may still be stuck in that closed mind. So if we're unable to imagine differences, then we must deny or invalidate them. And this produces a spiritually closed mind that prefers to remain in the familiar rather than expand into the unknown. So I say this, and her work that I bring forward allows us to look at other opportunities where we can become more aware, because it is your awareness, it is my awareness of my own ways that I can show up better, the way that I can speak better. Because it comes back to the language, the more inclusive language. And that allows us to expand into the unknown. If the lower chakras have not provided the security needed to let go, we're talking about the first chakra, second chakra, the third chakra. If it has not provided the security that we need to let go, we prefer to stay within the range of the familiar. And much of what we refuse to see comes under the heading of denial. Denial insists that something does not exist. That we don't have a drinking problem, that we are not overly attached to a relationship, that we are happy when we are not, or that the world has no environmental problems. Denial is both personal and collective. So if we can find where our denial is in this place, it allows us to go further into the unknown. And it works for us, me, you, they, there, and the collective, the world at large. And we're at that tipping point. We're here now. And there's a reason I believe that each and every one of us was brought into this time and space and reality. Somewhere, you may have said, I want to go back for that. I want to stand for that. In denial, we're held by the demon of illusion. You know how we talked about the demons of what they're using that word in reference to, the demon of illusion. That's what we're working with. Held in a fantasy world that keeps us from having to take an action in our lives. This book was written a long time ago, and it's so prevalent to every moment of every time of any place and time, but so prevalent that I'm choosing to read page 371, paragraph 1 now. I love this work because I came down here a little rushed and I opened this book. And I'm like, what do you want us to know? And 371, paragraph 1. my former highlighted notes from when I studied this book were there. Let's bring our attention and our imagination to the feet on the floor and our sit bones on the chair. Oh, it just makes my day. You make my day. Thank you for being here with me. And bring those tree roots down and that etheric feet down into that beautiful Mother Earth. The coolness of the rocks and the sand. Down to the molten, the warmth of the molten. It's a little chilly here these days, warming up my feet. See if your feet actually warm up as they go into that molten. And down into that crystalline core and feeling that powerhouse of energy. This energy that allows us to stand and be who you want to be, how you want to show up. Feel this beautiful grounding empowerment as we draw it up, this frequency up. Allow it to touch the full foot, all 4 points. Spread out your yoga toes and allow them to grasp onto the floor. And bring that energy up through these tree trunks of our legs that allow us to stand, and into the hips and the pelvis, which allows us to move, and into the torso, into that watery, emotional area where we can ground these emotions and we can speak them. We can stand in our emotions. Your birthright is to be happy, sad, angry, whatever that is, but from this place. And let's stoke that self-confidence with the fire and allow it to burn through those emotions that do not serve us and turn it to ashes as we come up into the place of love for yourself and all. The heart, and expand. There's a reason why these lungs expand, so we can expand this love. And into the shoulders and allow it to wash away the weight of the world and allow it to go back into the Mother Earth energy as it comes down the hands, down our arms and into our hands. Bring it up into the gateway. Nurturing and grounding all our vocal cords and thy will over my will, calming the ego and into the head, breathing it up into the third eye and over the top of the 7th chakra and down the back of the skull, touching the brain stem, the reptilian brain, allowing the Mother Earth energy to heal those old wounds. And we can bring it up the top of Sahasrara. We haven't done that the last few days. We've been doing it in different styles, and allow it to come out the top and wash down the outside of the body. And turn on those nerve endings and feel the difference of the nerve endings from maybe you were here in the beginning and you remember what it was like to do it in the beginning. It was awkward or a pain in the butt. And maybe now you're into this place where you revel like me with joy of doing this grounding and centering and aligning. And bringing it into that centering place. And come to that still point and find that as you center, you're centering in with that hara line into that grounded place of the center core of the earth as we prepare to take our alignment, even here to make the resolve for today. You need to pay attention to your language today. You make a resolve. Today I resolve to take the word no out of my vocabulary. I resolve to pay attention to my vocabulary. I resolve to tell everyone I meet how much I care about them and how important they are into my life. Whatever it might be. Now bring that alignment right up as we connect to the higher source, higher self, supraconsciousness, God, creator, source, energy, universal energy, as we go through the solar and into past the galaxies and into the universe and cosmos. No distractions, straight up, a fine line as we are aligned to those sources of beingness, energy, and bring in that golden white light. I open to receive this golden white light. I open to heal now in this time and space all that does not serve my highest and greatest good. Open the portal, give it a little tap, bring it into the head. Allow it to clear the chaos, clear all that worry, clear all that anxiety. Nourish the pineal and pituitary glands, the hypothalamus, the brainstem, into the throat. May I speak with love. May I speak with love. May I speak my truth. May I speak my truth and receive understanding, respect, and dignity to all. And into the golden white light into the heart, to heal any grief, unresolved issues. Make sure it gets into the back. May I heal all wounds of my lineage. May I heal any stabs in my back. May I heal into the solar plexus. May I have self-love and self-confidence, self-esteem. And breathe it into the shoulders and the arms and the hands. May everything I touch when I cook, when I read, when I have the experience of sharing energy, may it be with love. No projections. May I not project today. May I not receive any projections today other than unconditional love. And bring it into the abdomen and the hips, down into the legs. You can put anything in here, anything that comes to your intuition, any thought in this moment, put that in there for healing. And when you do for self, we do for others. And you can even openly express, may this love touch everyone in the globe, in the world. May we find peace and harmony and oneness. May we all see dignity for all. Black lives matter. May matter. So many things we've seen in historical times, so many genocides. Wow. Let's release that. Take a nice big cleansing breath with sound, and that's my whole yogic practice yesterday on or Saturday on my practice was all sound, all exhales, as we did bandhas and binds and twists and manipulated our bodies and held there for a moment to take that inhale and take that exhale. It was so healing. And we stood at the top of the mat for all. And we breathed in at the very, very beginning. We brought in our strongest emotion. And we brought it in a more and more and more and more and more to our tipping point in our expression. And we expressed it. And I cried. And I held where it was. That was so painful. And it was sorrow. Others were anger. Others were helplessness. But we're not helpless. It's not a helplessness. Everything that we do is that hope, is that energy of hope and healing. So thank you for being here. Let's go into 2 minutes with our meditation, our mantra meditation, and spread that love, that I am. Or do what you need to do to end this moment in time. What you need to do, because I guarantee when you do something that you want to do, you're empowering somebody else to do what they need to do, what they want to do. And that's where freedom is. And a whole lot more. Self-love, freedom, can name off a whole bunch of things that it represents. And there's somebody else, somewhere else, that needs that too. So do what you need to do. Inhale, so. Exhale, hum. Curl your lips up a little bit. Inhale, so. Exhale, hum. Breathing in a little deeper. Exhaling a little longer. On the inhale, we're expanding our ribs and our back. If you've gotten to that point yet, that 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower abdomen inhalation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. Smooth. No pause. No jerks. No noise. And no judgment. And offer love to all that are with us today, all that are viewing this at any time in any space, because time is not linear. The energy stays with this. Thank you so much for sitting with me today. Here's a little exercise that just came to my mind that I used to do. I'll do it again as well. So set your timer for a minute on your phone so it's accurate for 60 seconds for a minute. And then go into a 1-minute meditation and see how many breaths that you take in that minute. And then next time when you want to just take a minute meditation, you know how many breaths. And then when you count your breaths, with your so hum, you go like inhale so, exhale hum, 1. Inhale so, exhale hum, exhale hum, 2. And then that will help you to keep this area clear, because your mind can only focus on one thing at a time. So now you're focusing on your counting. And then maybe at the end of 7 days, retime yourself and see how many breaths you're doing in that minute, and see if you're taking less breaths. Because if you're taking less breath, that means you're expanding your breath pattern. That's a little fun thing to do. Do it today, and then next Sunday, maybe do it again next Sunday. Maybe make it a little part of your Sunday ritual. And then if you want to do 2 minutes, then you just double and count double, right? Let me know how it goes. The mother What's your wisdom for us today, your offering today? Where shall we focus? Effort. Put in the effort. Love is action. The effort to count your breaths. No effort is lost. There is always an answer, even if it is not perceived. Wow. This speaks to the times of today, hey? No effort is lost. There is always an answer, even if it's not perceived. Effort well directed breaks down all obstacles. Be steady in your aspiration, and it is sure to be granted. Effort well directed breaks down all obstacles. Be steady in your aspiration, and it is sure to be granted. That will be my focus. I hope it can be yours too. Find where that fits in your life and take the action. With love, I love you. Make it a great day.